Did you know that in 2019, President Donald Trump made an attempt to purchase Greenland? In today's video, we delve into Greenland's unique cultural traditions among the Inuit, including the practice of partner sharing, and explore the island's extended periods of darkness that can stretch up to 6 months. Believe it or not, the United States has shown interest in buying Greenland more than once. The first attempt dates back to 1867, when the U.S. Secretary of State, following the purchase of Alaska from Russia, turned his attention to Greenland. However, no formal offer materialized. Greenland was then part of the Kingdom of Denmark, with deep historical connections to the Danish crown. In 1979, Denmark granted Greenland autonomy, handing over many governing powers to its local authorities. Today, Greenland is responsible for managing its own foreign affairs. This remote and enigmatic land was first colonized by Vikings in the 10th century, becoming a vital commercial hub and a strategic point on the North Atlantic sea routes. Over the centuries, Greenland has seen various indigenous cultures, such as the Inuit, who have thrived in this harsh and challenging environment. Viking rule in Greenland came to an end in the 15th century due to factors like climate change, internal conflicts, and declining trade routes. After the Vikings, Greenland remained relatively isolated, with the Inuit preserving their traditions of hunting and fishing. In recent times, Greenland has undergone significant transformations. It returned to Danish control in the 18th century, began gaining autonomy in the 1970s, and has since grown in geopolitical significance due to its strategic location in the Arctic. If you're intrigued by how historical events shape modern cultures and societies, you'll find it fascinating to examine how the ancient Inuit practice of partner sharing in Greenland mirrors the community's adaptation to extreme environments. This is akin to the global powers' long-standing strategic interest in Greenland's geography. Inuit culture in Greenland is characterized by distinctive social customs, which have long been closely tied to the environment and the necessities of a subsistence lifestyle. These practices evolved to reinforce community bonds and ensure mutual support during the long, harsh Arctic winters. The extreme conditions of Greenland necessitated close-knit communities, where cooperation and trust were vital for survival. Sharing partners among families was one way to strengthen alliances and foster a sense of communal responsibility. Inuit families typically lived in interconnected homes, known as igloos, with underground passageways that allowed for interaction and support during winter without exposure to the severe outside conditions. This social structure encouraged collaboration and resource sharing, both essential for survival. The practice of exchanging partners was not just a social arrangement, but also served practical purposes. It helped ensure genetic diversity within the small, isolated communities, reducing the risk of inbreeding. Additionally, it facilitated the sharing of resources and labor, which was crucial during times of scarcity. However, this practice has largely faded in modern Greenland, as societal norms have evolved with modernization. The traditional lifestyle of the Greenlandic Inuit, including their customs, has been significantly influenced by external factors such as climate change and economic development. What are your thoughts on the ancient Inuit practice of partner sharing as a means to strengthen community bonds and ensure survival in the harsh Arctic environment? How does this compare to the ways we form and maintain our own communities today? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Imagine spending an entire day trekking across snow-covered landscapes, with the intense glare of the sun reflecting off the white surface and directly into your eyes. Over time, this can lead to a painful condition known as snow blindness. Snow blindness, or photokeratitis, is a common problem in Greenland, where the vast expanses of ice and snow amplify the reflection of ultraviolet rays. This condition is similar to getting a sunburn on your eyes, causing symptoms like eye pain, redness, blurred vision, tearing, and temporary vision loss. It can occur after just a few hours of exposure to bright sunlight without proper eye protection. In Greenland, the risk of snow blindness is particularly high due to the harsh summer sun and the abundance of snow. The region's unique climate, including the presence of the midnight sun during summer, results in prolonged exposure to ultraviolet radiation. Even in winter, the sun's rays are potent due to the reflective properties of the snow and ice. This makes snow blindness a serious concern for anyone spending extended periods in these reflective environments. If you're planning a visit to Greenland, you'll encounter a fascinating natural phenomenon known as the polar night. In simple terms, this is a period of up to 6 months where the sun never rises in the northernmost regions. During this time, the absence of sunlight is nearly total, with only a few hours of dim light around midday. The polar night occurs because of Earth's axial tilt, approximately 23.5 degrees, which causes the Arctic Circle to tilt away from the sun during the winter months. As a result, areas within the Arctic Circle, including northern Greenland, are shrouded in darkness for extended periods. In Kaunaki and other northern parts of Greenland, the polar night doesn't begin with complete darkness. Initially, in October and November, there's twilight when the sun hovers just below the horizon, providing some natural light during the day. But as December approaches, the darkness deepens, leading to a true polar night where no sunlight is visible at all. This prolonged darkness can have significant effects on the physical and mental health of residents. Seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, is common due to the lack of sunlight. Light therapy is often used to alleviate its symptoms. Despite these challenges, the resilient people of Greenland have adapted to these extreme conditions, finding ways to stay active and engaged during the long months of darkness. Before we move on, I have a quick favor to ask. If you could hit that subscribe button, it would mean the world to us. In Greenland, the coexistence of Inuit and Danish cultures creates a unique and intriguing blend. As an autonomous territory within the Kingdom of Denmark, Greenland showcases a remarkable fusion of traditions and customs from both cultures. The Inuit culture, rooted in the island's indigenous inhabitants, is characterized by a deep respect for nature, a strong connection to the environment, and a nomadic lifestyle. The Inuit have developed unique skills to survive in the extreme Arctic conditions, such as seal and whale hunting, ice fishing, and igloo building. Their language, Inuktitut, is one of Greenland's official languages and is still widely spoken by many residents. Meanwhile, Danish culture has had a significant impact on Greenland, particularly during the colonial period. The Danes introduced Christianity, Western education, and political administration to the island. Despite Greenland's autonomy, Danish influence is still evident in daily life, architecture, and cuisine. This blend of two distinct cultures has enriched Greenland's diversity. Greenland's National Day, celebrated in June, honors the territory's autonomy and unique cultural identity. The vibrant cultural scene features Inuit music, art, and crafts alongside Danish literature, music, and cuisine. The fascinating blend of Inuit and Danish influences creates a rich tapestry of life on this vast island where the traditions of two very different worlds come together. Greenland is home to the world's largest national park, covering over 972,000 square kilometers, which is about 375,000 square miles. This park, established on May 22, 1974, and expanded to its current size in 1988, encompasses the entire northeastern part of Greenland. To put its size into perspective, this park is larger than most countries. Northeast Greenland National Park boasts an incredible range of landscapes, from expansive ice sheets and rugged mountains to extensive fjords. About 80% of the park is permanently covered by ice, which shapes its climate and ecosystem. Despite the harsh conditions, the northern and southern coasts experience relatively sunny weather during the summer months, earning the northernmost tip the nickname Arctic Riviera. There are no permanent human settlements within the park, but it hosts several research and military stations that operate year-round. Notable among these are the Zackenberg Research Station and the headquarters of the Sirius Patrol, an elite Danish military unit tasked with patrolling and maintaining sovereignty over this remote part of Greenland. During the summer, the park sees an influx of scientists and occasional tourists, mostly arriving on cruise ships. The park also holds significant archaeological sites from both Paleo-Inuit and Neo-Inuit cultures. The cold climate has well-preserved remnants of these ancient civilizations, such as tent rings and tools, providing valuable insights into early human habitation and adaptation strategies in the Arctic environment. If the idea of exploring a national park larger than most countries excites you, you'll be captivated by the fascinating wildlife that inhabits Greenland, each species uniquely adapted to the island's extreme Arctic environment. Greenland's wildlife is incredibly diverse and uniquely adapted to its extreme Arctic environment. The island is home to iconic large mammals like polar bears, muskoxen, Arctic foxes, and seals. These animals are perfectly equipped to survive in conditions characterized by relentless cold and scarce resources. Greenland also boasts a rich variety of seabirds, such as puffins, guillemots, and Arctic terns, making it an ideal nesting and breeding ground. The surrounding waters are teeming with marine life, including numerous species of fish, whales, and seals, serving as a vital hub for migratory species. On land, polar bears are most commonly found along the northeastern coast, where they rely on sea ice to hunt seals. Arctic foxes are widespread across the island, preying on lemmings and birds. Muskoxen thrive in the western regions, while reindeer, moving in large herds, play a significant role in local hunting traditions. The marine ecosystem is rich with seals, such as ringed harp and hooded seals, as well as majestic whales like humpbacks and narwhals. Walruses are primarily found in the northern and eastern waters. Greenland's bird life is equally impressive, featuring species like the white-tailed eagle, rock ptarmigan, Atlantic puffin, and northern fulmar. These birds, along with the island's marine and land mammals, are deeply ingrained in Greenlandic culture, subsistence, and biodiversity, underscoring their importance beyond their ecological presence. Greenland is the setting for some of the most extreme races in the world, taking place against its rugged and breathtaking landscapes. One of the most renowned is the Arctic Circle race, considered the toughest ski competition on the planet. This 3-day, 60-kilometer event tests the fitness, endurance, and courage of cross-country skiers. Competitors must camp and cook for themselves over 2 nights, often enduring temperatures below minus 20 degrees Celsius. Another grueling event is the Nuuk Marathon, one of the most challenging urban marathons in the world. Marathon enthusiasts can also take part in races across various locations in Greenland, including the Arctic Circle Marathon in Kangerlussuaq, also known as the Polar Circle Marathon. We have already highlighted races in Sisimiut and Qaqortoq, and for those looking for shorter challenges, Greenland offers numerous options. If the adrenaline rush of Greenland's extreme races captures your interest, you'll be equally intrigued by the dramatic changes occurring to its ice sheets, a phenomenon reshaping the island and influencing global sea levels at an alarming rate. Stay tuned. Greenland's ice is melting at an alarming rate, losing around 270 billion tons annually. This loss is a significant contributor to the global rise in sea levels, accounting for approximately 30 to 35% of the increase. Melting seasons in Greenland have become more intense and start earlier than they did in previous decades. For instance, the 2024 season began sooner and showed higher levels of melting compared to the 1980s and 1990s. As the ice retreats, it exposes bedrock and vegetation, which absorb more solar energy than ice. further accelerating the melting process. This phenomenon impacts not only global sea levels, but also disrupts local ecosystems and indigenous practices that depend on the land and ice. Scientists monitor these changes using satellite data from missions like NASA's Gravity Recovery and Climate Experiment, or GRACE, underscoring the urgent need for climate action to address these effects. Greenlandic cuisine is a true culinary treasure, deeply reflective of the local culture and traditions, with an emphasis on native ingredients like seal meat, whale, reindeer, fish, and fresh seafood. One of the most popular dishes in Greenland is kiviak, a traditional delicacy made by fermenting seabirds in sealskin for several months. While this may seem unusual to some, it is highly valued by locals and is considered a true delicacy. Hunting and fishing are essential activities for life in Greenland, making fresh meat and fish crucial components of the local diet. Another iconic dish of Greenlandic cuisine is suasat, a hearty stew made with reindeer or muskox meat, vegetables, and aromatic herbs. This dish is slow cooked to enhance the flavors and tenderness of the meat, creating a comforting and flavorful meal. Greenland is home to the oldest rocks on Earth, offering an incredible glimpse into the early history of our planet. These ancient formations are primarily located in the Isua supercrustal belt in southwestern Greenland. The rocks here are estimated to be around 3.7 to 3.8 billion years old, making them some of the oldest known on the planet. Researchers from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology and Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute have extensively studied these formations. They used uranium-lead dating to confirm their age and examined the preserved magnetic signatures in the iron oxide minerals. These signatures indicate that Earth's magnetic field, although weaker, has been relatively stable over billions of years. Another remarkable site is Aquila Island, where scientists have proposed the existence of sedimentary rocks that might contain the oldest evidence of life on Earth. These rocks are also approximately 3.8 billion years old and have been the focus of significant scientific debate and research. If the ancient rocks of Greenland offer a glimpse into Earth's earliest days, the current plight of polar bears provides a stark reminder of the environmental challenges we face today, highlighting the fragile balance between our planet's history and its future. In Greenland, polar bears are facing serious challenges due to climate change. The rapidly melting Arctic sea ice, which these majestic animals rely on to hunt seals, their primary food source, is disappearing as temperatures rise. This reduction in sea ice is forcing polar bears to adapt in unprecedented ways or face severe survival challenges. One remarkable adaptation has been observed in a distinct group of polar bears in southeast Greenland. These bears have learned to survive despite being cut off from sea ice for most of the year. They use freshwater ice slabs that break off from the Greenland ice sheet and coastal glaciers, allowing them to hunt seals from these floating chunks of glacier ice. This behavior provides a rare and temporary refuge amidst the broader climate crisis. However, this adaptation is unique to southeast Greenland and is not feasible for polar bear populations across the Arctic. Despite these adaptive behaviors, the future for polar bears looks bleak if global warming continues at its current pace. A recent study by the University of Washington and Polar Bears International links greenhouse gas emissions directly to declining polar bear populations. The study predicts that without significant reductions in these emissions, polar bears will continue to lose their habitat, leading to further declines in their numbers.